Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is an end of the month for January tarot oracle reading. And Aries, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not in Aries, we still all have a little bit of Aries in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Aries in? That's where this energy will show up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. And be just aware that this is a general or collective reading, so parts will resonate and parts may not. Take what works for you, leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning that it is the perfect time for you to watch it. If it has been some time since I have posted this video, what was going on in your life at that time, that might give you some more clarity upon your situation. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we do have the Magician. So the Magician is the very first card that the Fool comes across when they begin their journey at the 0 point. This is card number 1. And so this is my cat Stella. She was sound asleep in the other room, but you heard I was doing a reading, so you have to be here. So, okay, now sit down because you're blocking my vision. Sorry. My cat loves the reading. She could be sound asleep in the other room and she somehow manages to interrupt. Yeah, I love you too, but boy. Okay, so the Magician is pointing as above, so below. So it's talking about bringing your thoughts and, your intuitive insights down to earth. And it's also talking about the tools on the bench, that you have all the tools that you need on your journey here on earth. And he's got the infinity symbol at the top of his head there, and that represents the infinite potential that you have. And he is also wearing an Ouroboros around his waist, and the Ouroboros is a snake that's biting its own tail, and it's talking about be careful that you don't get caught in a loop. We are actually moving out of the year of the snake on February 17th, so that's not that far away. And that energy is talking about, like, don't get caught in a wishing loop, like you want to actually manifest. And the year of the snake is about shedding what no longer belongs to you, or is no longer of benefit to you. And so it's a great idea to do that, to release all of that before we enter into the fiery horse year, which will be on February 17th. And so this is the underlying energy for the reading, and this is the underlying energy for the internal forces that are within this reading. And the internal forces will be here, and they represent what you have control over. And like, you can't control everything that's happening, but you can control your reaction and respond to it instead of react. And so this energy is talking about having putting your mind to rest, basically. It's talking about taking the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind and hanging them on the wall. You don't need to think right now. Laying your mind at rest, laying down that sword. These swords represent thoughts and your mental intelligence and control of your mind. And so this energy is talking about wanting peace of mind. This person is going inward. They're meditating, and they're in meditative prayer. It looks like they're in a church. There's a stained glass window here. And on that stained glass window is the word Pax, P-A-X, and that represents peace of mind. So that's what this is saying. You want peace of mind before you manifest, I feel. You want to be really clear on what you want to manifest. Good idea, Aries. That's a really good idea. Okay, Stella, I hear you. Yeah, be a good girl. Either go leave the room here or be quiet. I'm sorry, my cat is being very obnoxious at this point. Go away if you're going to be like that, or come. You can sit on my lap, but you have to be a good girl. Enough now. You're interrupting. Enough. So this is the Knight of Wands coming through. And so the Knight of Wands, the knights would work for the king and the queen in the court. And they would deliver messages far and wide. And of course, back then, they would ride their horse to the next kingdom, get the message, and then ride back with it. So it could take quite some time. This card is representing a form of communication coming through about something, about some form of action, something you're passionate about. The Knight of Wands is a rebel with a cause. That he has this big red plume on the back of his helmet, representing his that he could be quite hot-headed, but he's learned to rein his his emotions in. The horse represents his emotions, and he's pulling it in and not getting out of letting his temper get the best of him, or getting overexcited, that kind of energy, or over anxious. There is these 3 pyramids in the background that represent the mysteries of life and the love that the Knight of Wands has for adventure and travel and the mysteries of the world, like wanting to understand how did those pyramids get there, kind of energy. And so this energy is bringing in some form of communication regarding something that you're passionate about. And this is talking about, like, in these days now, we have communication at the drop of a hat, basically. So this could be talking about information coming in from an email, a phone call, a text message. It could be a social media post. It could be on the news. Whatever's happening on the news, this is a general collective reading. Whatever's happening on the news has a tendency to be happening in people's lives to a lesser degree. Energetically, it's all connected. So the Knight of Wands is coming in with this message, reining in his emotions. I don't know if this is before or after that this energy is like, okay, gone and meditated, and that's why he's able to rein them in. We'll see what's going on. So this starts here. And we have, oh, look at this. So we have the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So the Page of Wands is actually a younger version of the Knight of Wands. The Page of Wands would work for the king and queen around the age of 7 and 14. And then they would, when they grew up, if they could afford a horse at the age of 21, they would be considered for knighthood. So he must have managed to get his knighthood here. And so this is talking about this is basically coming, I feel like that what this is saying, this is a message coming from the external forces. And this energy is coming from within the palace walls. So it could be saying a message came in, and now the king and queen or the court or whoever's responsible in your house, you may not have a court, but you may have like a way of communicating what your needs are to someone. And you notice like this energy of the Page of Wands is very enthusiastic, and you think about a young man that's ready to start out and ready to go on adventures and really admiring his wand. So this is the energy like of, hey, like ready to go for it kind of energy. Enthusiastic. He's got a feather in his cap. You notice how this says grown to a plume when he becomes like the knight. And so this rebel with a cause energy coming in with external force information, and they are discussing it in the palace walls now. And it has been delivered by the Page of Wands. And recognize that these are archetypes. All the figures in the tarot are archetypes. So they're representing an energy, and they're representing the masculine energy. So, but these could be females in their masculine energy as well as males in their masculine energy. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is representing someone that has is very admired for his business acumen, someone who is good with pentacles. So this is an earth element and this is a fire element. And so the energy is this is talking about action, and this is talking about how to manifest what you want and bring it down from the heavens onto earth. This is talking about like the actual 3D lifestyle that you live, how you live. And this energy is generally a person who is in the King of Pentacles position would be someone that deals with finances, like is known, like that's how they earn their living. It's got something to do with, they could be a financial advisor, they could be a partner in accounting firm, something like that, someone higher up. This could represent the head financial advisor of a corporation, a businessman who's an entrepreneur that is running his company and making all the financial decisions. It's that kind of energy. In the government positions, it could represent someone who's in charge of the finances of a country, the ministers, the Senate, that kind of energy, dealing with the coin. And then we also have now the Ten of Cups coming in. So the Ten of Cups is about love, and sometimes it's about romantic love. But this Ten of Pentacles is saying that, that you have a lot of love coming in, or you have a lot of love in your life already as we speak. So this is talking about, there's only 10 cups in the tarot. So you have 10, this is ultimate fulfillment. And this is saying that you love your partner, you love your children, you love where you live, you love your country, you love your, the province or the state or whatever area the region that you're in. You love your career, you love your neighbors, you love your pets, just like, hey, my life is all about loving everything. I love my life. And we have, oh, look at this, we have the sun coming in. So this is the happiest card in the deck. And so the sun is shining this down on you, Aries. And this is saying, like, Aries is the infant of the zodiac. That's the very first sign in the zodiac. So it represents the energy of a newborn baby being delivered. And what can be more joyful than a newborn baby? So this could be saying that you've received news from the doctor or whatever that you're expecting, and now like the palace is all celebrating and happy. There's a baby coming. This is awesome. Awesome energy. It's magic. It's so happy. And this is talking about, you look at this young child here, and this is talking about that this child is destined to be here, and it's a beautiful, happy event, and God is smiling upon this child. There's these sunflowers representing that this child has a sunny disposition and is, well, this energy is also talking about, I feel like we have a full moon coming at the beginning of February, on February 1st, and this is a Leo full moon. Leo rules the sun, so there could be some energy around that coming in, around, towards the end of the month in January. And so that's the energy coming in, and this child is carrying this heavy banner with ease, because it's their destiny to be here and be with these parents, etc. Now the energy here of the Sagittarius energy is very much the fiery horse energy that is coming in on Chinese New Year on the 17th, and that energy is on the same day there's a new moon, so there's a lot of energy coming in, and with the fiery horse energy. And the fiery horse energy is very similar to the Sagittarius energy. It's about having a lot of passion and setting really high goals and loving new adventures and trying new things and meeting new people and knowledge just for the pure joy of it. It talks about in love life having a lot of passion and looking for that adventurous person that would match their energy. The danger with the fire horse energy, because it's coming in here, it's being presented to horses here, is that if you're an Aries and you already have that fire in you, so you have to be careful that you don't get too fired up. This energy can be very impulsive, and it's also can be like driving, like it makes you want to do, let's go. So that you tend to burn yourself out. And so that's the warning that comes with the fire horse, the year of the fire horse energy, is that you have to be really careful not to be too impulsive with it. If you've ever seen a horse that gets the bit in their mouth, and then you have no control over the direction the horse goes or the speed it's traveling at, and so your trajectory can change very quickly. And you could be like, if you're on foot, you're going to only go so far down the wrong path, but on a horse, you're not going to dictate it. If a horse is spooked and runs like that, all you can do is just hang on until they tire out, which can be some time if they're spooked. And so that's the kind of the energy that we have here. It's talking about this fiery energy coming in, and just being really careful to use it wisely is what this is saying. And then we have the Emperor coming in. So the Emperor is sitting on his throne, and he's actually all four kings rolled into one person. So this Emperor is like, he's all about performance. He's got his armor on. He's ready to go at a moment's notice. It's under his robe. He has really good ability to control his emotions. He's a master at poker. You know what I mean? A poker face. Like, he does not show his emotions. And he is very wise, which is represented by the white beard there. He is ready to get up at a moment's notice if there's an opportunity at hand, and grab onto opportunities. He's at the top of his field no matter what it is. And he has like a lot of respect also for financial matters. He'd likely be a CEO, someone really at the top of whatever industry he's in, whatever occupation he's in. He would be one of the alpha male type energies in that energy. There we go. And so then we have, so this is the internal forces. So let's just take a look. So you identify with your Aries energy. the Aries is represented by the ram, and the ram is representing the fact that a newborn baby comes in head first. It also can represent that, Aries energy can be quite stubborn and like ram, like, and temper tantrums, banging your head against the wall when you don't get your way, that kind of energy when you're younger. And so this is talking about, reining that in. And then abundance and self-worth, it's talking about, yes, that, this is representing someone who is held in high esteem since they were young. You've been taught, to look after yourself and to have passion for life. And if you're in the court of the royal family, you probably are from a higher society type family that have a lot of coin and abundance, so you are used to living an abundant lifestyle and have good self-worth. And then this is the communication in early life. Again, it's talking about being raised by people who are living an abundant lifestyle and have a good understanding of how the world works, how finances work, how to get ahead in life, that kind of energy. This is your emotional foundation. So it's saying you've had a very beautiful childhood, a fulfilling life. And this energy is also talking about creativity and romance in this position. So it's like the sun is shining on you, Aries. It's like, you are born to shine for sure. And then this is talking about having the discipline that the Emperor does. The reason why he's so able to be all about performance and do so well is because he has the energy of all four kings, of the qualities of that rolled into one person. And it's talking about being able to control his daily routine and his habits so that he has good systems in place so that for performance and for success. And so this is the internal forces. So this is the what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? I don't feel that there's any energy too much about that. This could just represent someone that's just had a very peaceful life, and that, it's been very heavenly, actually. Like, look at this, that miracles happen every day and you're aware of it and you feel like life is magic. This is beautiful energy, like for a person to be in. So I don't know what your what ifs would be, but even though this looks so perfect, there's always what ifs. Everybody has what ifs. And there could be a lot of pressure on you because you've been raised to perform. And so maybe you feel like you have to be at the top of your class, and you have to be the captain of the team, and you have to always be at the top. And there's a lot of pressure on you to get the best marks, and to that kind of energy. And that's not uncommon in that situation. And then we have this energy is talking about the external forces coming in. So this is representing someone. They're standing at in the turret of their castle, and they're overlooking their domain. And they're like thinking, I want to expand. This is like feeling like a small or a big fish in a small pond energy. You've got the world in your hands and you recognize it, but you know, like the whole world isn't like this. Or I hope you do, because you'll be very disappointed when you get out there. And this energy is talking about wanting to expand your horizons and do things in your own way. So I feel like this is talking about someone that, like, this can represent a move. That you want to move it, and there's water here, so it could talk about wanting to move somewhere across the water. So this could talk about international waters. It could be talking about maybe you're wanting to purchase a house on the lake somewhere, or be in somewhere by the sea, by the ocean, that kind of energy. But this is saying you do have the world at your hands. You understand that, but you also understand that you barely have scratched the surface. That you've been in this protected world. You realize that. And so you want to go and explore the world on your own terms, is the energy I'm picking up. And then, yes, we have the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. So basically that's it's saying. It's time for you to get out there and explore the world, and understand really actually how fortunate you really are. And also understand there's probably pressures that you're under that other people that you meet will be like feeling like, whoa, I'm glad I'm not here. Like, you had all that pressure on you and you're that young kind of energy. And then we also have the Pentacles coming in. So this is two major rewards coming in. This is God as you decide, okay, I'm going to go and expand my horizons. This is talking about having the intellectual ability to be able to recognize the truth and stay on your path and be in your truth, that kind of energy. And then this one is saying that you're being rewarded for following your North Star. Because even though you've had this exceptionally beautiful upbringing that many people would maybe be jealous of, God is aware of how much pressure you have been under, how you have worked very hard to stay on your destined path, that you represent, you understand that like if this is someone that whose parents are running the country, that this could actually represent an actual royal family, and understanding that every move you make reflects upon your parents, it reflects upon the country, everything. Like, it's a huge responsibility. The more pentacles you have, the more responsibility you have. And a lot of people think, that's why a lot of times, if people win the lottery, they're bankrupt within a few years, because they weren't taught how to deal with that kind of responsibility. And there's a lot of pressure when you have that kind of responsibility. It's a different kind of pressure. A lot of people would say, hey, I'd rather have that kind of pressure. I hear you. But it's still just recognizing that, hey, it's not, everybody has the shift they have to deal with. And so, yes, that's what this is talking about. This is talking about being raised in a way or feeling in a way that your thoughts are, it has to be this or it has to be that. There's no in between. This is how, these are the rules of the court, and you have to behave like that, because if you don't behave like that, it reflects badly on the entire, country. Like, no pressure though. And so it's talking about, it is indicating the new moon. The new moon, as I'm doing this reading right now, the new moon is in a couple days here. The new moon is in the sign of Capricorn, and it's talking about moving forward and embracing the new, but building something and doing it with consistent steps of action. The Capricorn energy is talking about this pentacle energy. So it's talking about understanding that there's rules that you have to play by, but also understanding that you're not even aware of all of it, because now you're out in a whole new world. Like, you're in a different new environment, and you're going to have to learn as you go. And so you have to understand that you're going to have to use your intuition as well as your logic, and be able to be in a position where this is the body language here is the feet are turned out, representing the energy from about moving forward, being like it could, don't be careful of this energy of, getting impulsive and going too far ahead of yourself. And then this is beware of being closed and shutting yourself down and not following your heart's desires because you don't know what to do and you don't want to be embarrassed and you always have to be first and that kind of energy. It's okay for you to make some mistakes in this energy. It would be expected of you that, you know, if you're challenging your boundaries, of course you're going to, and you're doing new, you're going to be like, if you think back to an infant, you know, when you're born, you're absolutely helpless, and look how much you learned by the time you were a year old. It's incredible, and it's like you know, all the like it's in stages, developmental stages, and that's what this is saying. This Capricorn energy, taking it one step at a time and climbing that, you know, slowly, like climbing that mountain, so you get your skills and you understand, like how you learn to sit up before you learn to crawl, kind of energy. And then once you crawl, then you learn how to stand, and once you learn how to stand, then you learn how to walk, and you start by holding on to furniture, etc., and then you can move you know, then all of a sudden you're on your feet, and look at you. A lot of babies are starting to talk and use words. And it's all instinctual. It's like you have it in you to understand the difference between like when your intuition is telling you that something, you know, do it this way, and nobody, I mean, your parents help you learn to walk and stuff, but it's you who wants to do it, and it's the natural inclination for a baby to do that. And so the energy here is, it's a big transition for you. Recognize that. This might represent someone that you might be, you know, you don't have to be at that age of a young person that's starting off like this. This could be someone, like you might have accomplished a huge goal and you're not used to having that level of success. This could be happening at any age, but it's the energy of that age. So we have the Death card coming in talking about, yes, this is a major transition. This is, you know, the systems are going to be different. And look at, the king is trampled. So everything you learned from your parents is probably not the way it is out there. That you think, you know, they might not know, like they might not have been out in the real world for a while. It's kind of like, you might be someone who's divorced and you've been married for 20 years or something, and now you got to go out there in the dating world again or something, like, you know, like that kind of energy. And it's realizing, hey, don't ask your married friends for advice about dating because they haven't dated for 20 years. You know, you need to talk to someone that has been out there, and they might have really good advice from 20 years ago, but you know, you're going to have to find some things out the hard way. That's just the way life is. And so this is talking about temperance, the devotion to your path, of doing your best to stay on, you know, on your divine course, and doing it with a sunny disposition, and recognizing that you're highly favored and you have all the tools you need. And just like this is about, yeah, go out there and enjoy the universe. This is representing the universal waters, right? And staying grounded at the same time, having one foot on the earth and one foot in your, so that you're in your body. This represents sometimes like what people call an earth angel, one of 144,000 that were sent to earth. And so sometimes this represents an energy of not always being in your body and being so in using your intuition so much that, and being very much like ethereal, like a soul. It could represent your energy, like kind of recognizing that you are a human being. You're not a human being with a soul. You are a soul that's traveling in a human body, and this is your vehicle for how you're going to move forward to get, you know, shift done on the planet. My cat is just going nuts here. She's flying around the room. I don't know what the heck. So we've got the hangman here. And so the hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge. And the hangman is hanging upside down because he wants to get a different perspective from one that he's used to. And that's what you're doing. You're gaining knowledge. And so it's talking about having, you know, really studying, kind of, okay, recognizing that you need to look at things from a new angle, and new perspective to be, before you make any real serious moves in, that like avoiding again that impulsive behavior. That the fire signs are so, or being super stubborn, like a ram, banging your head against the wall if you don't get your way kind of energy. Recognizing that there's going to be some of that energy. So let's clarify this. If you are enjoying this reading, please do give it a like and comment. And yeah, this is awesome energy for stepping out for the end of the year and moving into the new year in February. And so I'm going to use my oracle, Tales from the Vector, and this is TAILS, and we're talking about the energy of, it's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I started working on this in 2007, and I completed all the 64 paintings in 2020, and now I'm getting ready to bring it out. I've had it out and about before at seminars and psychic fairs, but it wasn't complete, like the paintings weren't all done. And now I'm working on the information that goes along with it when I bring it actual out in physical form. And in the description box below, I will list the numbers of the cards as they appear in my gallery. That's what the numbers on these cards represent. And that energy, then you can look them up if you want to. It's talesfromthevector.com, TAILS from thevector.com. And I've been tuning into this energy, but I haven't got a clear, okay, this is the energy that wants to come out. Okay, so this is talking about the energy of the shooting star energy coming out from the base chakra. So this is talking about having a good attitude. So it's talking about, this energy, like if you're wishing for something, it means you don't have it. So you have to recognize that if you want to have what you wish for in life, that you need to put the time and the energy into it and have a good attitude as you do it. And then we have degradation on here. This is representing the energy of the internal forces here. So the what ifs. And so this is talking about I feel like it's natural for someone, if you're in this new energy, whatever that is for you. It could be the energy of just getting married and having to adjust to that. It could be the energy of, stepping out and going to school away, to college for the first time. It could be the energy of starting a business and you've never had your own business before. It could be you're starting a new job. Recognizing that there's going to be times where you don't feel peaceful because, the energy is like, you might feel like hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I hope they don't notice. That kind of energy. And just recognizing that that's normal and natural and having a good attitude about it. And dissemination of information. This is talking about, when you know what you know, but you don't really, you think, like with the energy here of the fire horse energy, you know a lot already. That's clear, and you've studied a lot and you had high marks, etc. But the dissemination of information is like when you don't necessarily know the language. Like there's a language to every business, and if you're not really aware of that language, you might have to learn new terms or whatever. If you're moving to a new country, moving into this energy of like expanding your horizons, you might have to learn a new language. You may have to learn how to run computers better, and that kind of energy. So it's talking about understanding like that, this energy of the fire horse energy has a tendency to be kind of bravo, and the Aries, the fire signs are kind of known for doing that. Like being a little bit like, if you start to believe your own press, oh yeah, I know all that, that's when you're going to feel degraded. Because especially if you're in the real world, the people around you may have a tendency, a lot of parents these days, they don't want their children to ever lose. Like everybody has to get a medal. Everybody has to, you're a winner no matter what. And that's not the real world. And really, school is meant to teach kids that. And so like these days, if you really thought that the whole world was like this and you were always going to get your way and people were going to get out of your way so that, like when you're on driving to work or whatever, that they're just going to let you magically go through because you're you. No. And so this is like really recognizing, being able to say, hey, to the people around you and to yourself, I don't understand that. Could you explain it to me properly? Like, so that I have a better understanding and not feeling degraded in having to do that. And so this is talking about the karmic space of worldly and otherworldly desires. This is about giving yourself total permission to go after your heart's desires, and at the same time doing it responsibly, understanding that you have to have discipline of the mind, that your actions, I feel like you already have quite a solid foundation in that, but it might be on the other side of it where you're feeling like you're too, tight, and you're not going after your desires because you don't want to appear to be someone that doesn't know what they're doing, that kind of energy. And then we have justice coming in. So this is about redemption. Justice is basically when you get neutral to the extremes, and it's sitting on the King of Pentacles. I feel like this is just talking about, I don't feel like there's this, and this is a pretty light reading for you, Aries. I feel like it's saying that, there's two pillars of justice and you're in between, and you have to get neutral to the extremes. And if you do that, I feel you'll be in pretty good place. When you can get neutral to the extremes, then you can get neutral to the in-between. And the justice would be like doing well in life, like you're meant to shine. And there might be some people that feel like you're too shiny. So just, it's okay. Tell them to get a pair of sunglasses. And so we have the High Priestess energy. And this is talking, yes, to be able to have everything that you love in your life, you have to you have to have that joy that, like the High Priestess is right next to God. She sits on her throne next to God, very similar to the Justice card. And so this is saying you need to be able to use your intuition and your logic. And like, you ask a logical question and you get an intuitive answer, then you have to apply logic to that with a good attitude, and you'll get far in life. Like having a sunny disposition, like if you know the 10 Commandments, knowing, just being in that energy, like I know what I know what's good, and I know what's evil. I know what is weak for me, and I know what's strong for me, that kind of energy. And then this is talking about adolescence and being engaged in your life rather than getting entrenched by emotions. And so, and we just had that Cancer moon on January 3rd, and it was in Cancer, the full moon. The new full moon coming up is more up your alley. It's the Leo energy, but across from the Leo energy will be of course, Aquarius is the opposing energy. So this energy talks about like when the full moon comes, that will be on the 1st of the month. So like, towards the end of the month, you're going to be feeling this energy. And so the Leo full moon is talking about the opposing energy is the Aquarian energy. And so the Leo full moon is about your personal needs and wants and desires and hearts, your heart's desires. And the Aquarius energy is talking about being a team player. And what does the world need? Like what does the world's heart desire? And then we have the moon coming in. So that's why. So this is talking about, the full moons, they have a tendency to bring out these really strong emotions in us. And it's a Leo full moon, and it's coming close to this energy. So be aware, it could be very fiery. The moon coming up on in February here, the full moon. And being really aware that ending off this month, that there's this pull for this energy, and it can be very aggressive feeling. So just, rein it in. If you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, especially, like you don't want to burn yourself out by pushing yourself too hard and forcing the energy, allow yourself to, just go with the flow and chill out a little bit. This is the Magician on top of this energy here. So the Magician is is bringing that energy, saying again, you do have the tools you need. to be able to handle the external forces. You are, and this, I feel like this is saying, yes, you're on a new adventure. This is the very first card that you come across when you're the Fool and you start out from the 0 point on your journey. And so it's like reminding you again that this is an energetic upgrade for you to moving forward, but you're going to have to do the dance of life, which is not always forward movement. Sometimes you're going to take a step back, sometimes you're going to go sideways. That's because life is a dance, it's not a march, you know. And then we have father figures here. And so this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. So you can always pray to God. I feel that you've been raised with that energy, and you understand that you can go inward. You understand the power of meditating and getting yourself into a peaceful state of mind, and also the power of prayer. And this is also talking about sometimes we want to be exactly like our Father, and sometimes we want to be the opposite. So this is about turning princes. And, if you're from a king, then you're a prince. You don't want to turn into a frog instead of the other way around. That's the kind of energy. And look at, here you are representing yourself. I am what I am, and I'm being what I'm doing. So this is talking about having that real strong balance between knowing that, hey, that you're enough just for being who you are, just being, is saying that you matter. You are matter, therefore you matter. You came in, you were born, you're here. And then there's also that you want to be doing, and you're ruled by Mars. This is a very aggressive planet. Mars likes to get shift done kind of energy, So keeping that in mind on your journey here, that this is representing you. Stay on your path. You will be rewarded for staying on your path of the North Star. The North Star represents that guiding light that directs you towards, okay, this is the next step to take. We have the Hangman coming up. So the Hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge, and here it is again, right? And so this is talking here about your commitments, your marriage and partnerships. And this energy here is talking about your this transformation that you're making. It's shared resources. Like if you're someone that's newly married, getting used to that energy. If you're becoming a parent, possibly, that kind of energy. So it's talking about there's a transition happening here. And then this is talking about your higher learning. And so, yes, it's saying when you don't know what to do, go inward. And, it's not this or that. There's creative solutions to any problem. When you're in the new, that the new moon is representing there, it's talking about when you're in the new, you're not going to know what to do all the time, and that's okay. And especially if you're used to having a lot of guidance from, the situation you were in before, and now like you're, like across the world in a new country, and you don't even speak the language kind of energy, that you are going to have to adjust to that energy. Having patience. And look at that, sitting on the Temperance again, saying stay on your divine path, everything will be fine. The transition is, see, this energy is just reconfirming. This is a beautiful reading. Like, you're going to do really well, Aries. This is really awesome energy. And yeah, the Emperor is being reconfirmed again. Stay on your path, and you'll develop all those skills that are so impressive, right? And you'll be like the master of your own being. You will be yourself, and that will be more than enough. That's the energy. And this is again saying control your anger. If you have a bit of a hair trigger temper, remember, anger is the gift that keeps on giving. So when you get angry and you say things or do things that you might regret later, sometimes it can take a lot of time to fix something like that. If you can go in the wrong direction in this fiery horse energy with the fire signs. It's just saying again, if you've got a bit of a temper, rein her in. Don't be doing foolish, impulsive things that you really regret later. Other than that, you are on a roll. I love this energy for you, Aries. What a beautiful ending to to January. I will have another reading for you, and that one will be for the beginning of February. So bye for now.